my mother said, "Oh, old people, they don't shut the door." Anyhow, Nana's boobs. I don't know. You've talked about grandparent boobs. It was.
No, I've
it
never,
was.
I don't never. I don't know.
I remember you had a joke about maybe it was that you had pictured your grandmother and grandfather having sex, and you said, "I don't like broccoli. I didn't like broccoli growing up, but now I like it. Am I gonna like having sex with as an old person?" And then
I would take the tit and swing it over
swing
my
it over your shoulder. You said, "What do? You huck it around the room," and it always
such
made
an
me.
old bit.
Yeah, it always made me think of my grandmother because it didn't so much fall out of her, it like unfurled. It was like a it had the sort of the length and circumference of the snake that popped out of the can of peanuts. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that thing? So that happened. And I remember telling my brothers the story, and then I wrote a rhyme about it and everything. And we were laughing.
You wrote a rap?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really a rap. It was this song. I was walking down the hall one day, gonna go to my room to play. When I turned around the door, I saw her boobs upon the floor and decided I should run away.
With the changing of the seasons, it's time to change up the way you cook. Let go of meal planning, shopping, food prep, and let HelloFresh take the reins. They send fresh ingredients with easy recipes right to your door, so cooking is a total breeze. With 40 recipes and over 100 add-on items to choose from each week, there's always something new to love. If you're counting the calories or you're following a specific meal plan, it can be hard to find meals that fit your little guidelines you're setting for yourself. HelloFresh makes it easy with vegetarian, family-friendly, and fit and wholesome options. With awesome dinners like honey butter barbecue pork chops, and shrooms and Swiss beef burgers. I love a nice shroom Swiss beef burger. Say that 5 times. Shroom Swiss beef burger. Shroom Swiss beef burger. There's truly something for everybody in the family, and they all will love it. Go to HelloFresh.com/50YKWD and use code 50YKWD for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/50YKWD for you know what, dude. And use code 50YKWD for 50% off plus free shipping. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. I'm telling you right now, therapy for me is a game changer. Most people think they can white knuckle life, go through it, deal with it. That's how we were taught. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. You buried it. You didn't talk about it. You pushed it down. Well, you know what? All that's changed. We don't have to do that anymore. You can get help. Therapy helps you figure out, family life, the heavy stuff, but it also helps you figure out the light stuff, how to get stuff done, how to organize, how to think better. It's awesome. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, which is awesome. Because my therapy, I had to go in 45 minutes, find a parking spot 30 minutes, pay $40, go to therapy, come back, another 45 minutes home. I mean, it's crazy. Now it's totally online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. And you can switch therapists anytime you want for no additional fee. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/dude today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dude. This episode is brought to you by GhostBed. Look, you want to be the funniest person in the room, right? You got to make sure you're well rested. Great jokes and tired brains, they don't mix. So if you're not sleeping well, you might need a new mattress. Guess what? The great, awesome folks at GhostBed make the best one. I have one. I sleep on it. Both mattresses up at my tiny house are GhostBed. I love them. In fact, it's a family-owned business. That's why I love them. Who's been making mattresses in the U.S. for over 20 years. You know I love the U.S. You can tell when you lie down on their beds that they're super high quality. All their mattresses feature signature cooling technology that ensures you don't wake up in a big pool of sweat. Take advantage of free shipping and 101 night mattress sleep trial and financing starting at only $35 a month. You don't have to go in and pay the whole thing. Most orders ship within 24 hours, so you can start sleeping better this week. Listeners can get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories, or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress with an adjustable base. Use promo code YKWD at ghostbed.com/YKWD for 40% off site-wide. Limited time only. Yeah, baby. We're starting the podcast right now. We're back. You know what, dude? Live. Welcome, everybody, to the show. YKWD. I started social media and podcasting. The fact. The YKWD podcast. YKWD's back again. Old school, back in the day, where it all started. Before them all. YKWD. This podcast is so fun and crazy. It has no rules. Shut up. You're ruining this.
Where's the bandana, man?
Sorry. It's a comedy podcast. This isn't NPR.
That's what this podcast does.
Is there any better show? This is the original. Welcome back to YKWD, one of the longest running podcasts on the East Coast. One of the first, and I think one of the best. I hope you guys are enjoying the shows lately. We've had some kick-ass guests. Do me a favor, before you go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. That's all you got to do. It costs nothing. Just hit the subscribe and hit the like and comment if you want. And that's about it. And we do have an unedited version that goes on patreon.com/Robert Kelly. In case we have any potty mouth stuff or we go a little edgy, we put that over there. You get it first. You get an extra episode every week of YKWD, extra. And then you get it unedited and a bunch of other stuff. So that's where you go if you want to be a real supporter of the show and give me some cash so I can pay these autistic kids that work for me.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy that my guest is here today. I love him. One of my longest friends.
That's a great one.
In the business, but also in life.
Yeah.
We've gone past the business.
Yeah.
It's been so long that it's life. Gary Gulman.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
A true friend.
I mean,
in this thing they call, they say it's not show friends, but isn't it show friends? That's what keeps us coming back.
show friends?
Is the friends
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Well, comics, right?
Yeah.
Comics, it's like...
Yeah, everything is from friends and colleagues that liked us, not so businessy.
Everything
We're
I
really
pretty
fortunate.
much got
Yeah.
was from somebody who liked me as a person,
Yes.
you know?
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
No way Louis liked my stand-up. He liked my personality.
Yeah, but also you're a great actor. You're a
I am
great
a
actor. And we also studied acting together with Peter Kelly in Boston,
Dude.
which was a great that was a great time, man. People think acting classes are some sort of cult or anything, but most of them are serious people trying to do serious work and are artists and love acting.
Pete Kelly, and people don't know this.
Just a genius of a man.
I mean, Pete Kelly worked at College and Pickman Casting Agency. Once in a while, he would teach a class. I remember I got into College and Pickman acting.
Okay.
In Boston. College and Pickman was the big casting agency. You got a film, you went through that lady and that company. I went into the class. He's teaching downstairs. I didn't get in. So I'm upstairs. Well, it's fine. I'm with her.
Yeah.
She's still great, but I'm not with I heard about Pete Kelly.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he walks up with his long hair, flips it. I need one more. I just went, me.
Good for you. I'd never heard that story. That's incredible.
I went, me. I wanted. So I went downstairs. I took his class for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the greatest things. He goes, who wants to be famous? Who wants to be a good actor?
I love that.
And he stops and he goes, there's no wrong answer. Being famous is fine in this business, but there's some people that just want to be good actors.
Yeah.
And, everybody raised good actor.
Yeah.
I did this.
Good for you.
I was like,
Good for you.
I remember,
That's ballsy, man.
I remember I took him out for dinner.
Where'd you go?
La Familia George. La Familia George. Because that's when I started working there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you felt this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. When acting, comedy, I just wanted somebody to tell me,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should do this.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes.
I just wanted.
Yes.
You got it, dude.
Yes. Yes.
Because it was so scary, right? When we first
Totally.
started.
Totally. We're in the dark. We didn't have that faith. And that's, some people just have it, or they got it from their parents, or they just have it innately, but we didn't have that faith in ourselves, and we were constantly looking for somebody to reflect what we had. We had an inkling, we had a hint. People had told us we're funny, we're talented,
Right.
but nobody of authority had confirmed it, and
Right.
and Pete Kelly was able to do that for us.
Well, he didn't for me. I took him out to
What?
dinner. I took him to dinner, and
He cast you in Two Dogs and a Bone.
he did. No, he did after. Here's what happened. Took him to dinner, and I go, dude, can you tell me, should I do this? And he's like, I don't know, dude.
Right.
What do you want? Pass the cheese.
Honest.
I was like, I'm such a good actor. You look for cheese. Did you see that? I'm fucking rocking, dude. You literally went like this. I created such a fucking illusion. You went like this.
But I yes-anded.
You did. You did. So here's what happened.
But a real actor would have grabbed the cheese
And put it to me, and I would have went like this
Yeah.
and handed it back, and you would have took it. You sure?
and maybe I would have put some on my own.
Your pasta? Is it seafood or is it just a bolognese?
No, it's a broccoli and chicken and broccoli.
Oh, the chicken
ziti.
buona fortuna.
Chicken broccoli. Yeah, chicken.
Chicken buona fortuna.
Yes.
From La Famiglia Giorgio.
Oh my gosh, $3.95
Ah.
for a pound of pasta.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So anyway, here's this.
It was almost as if it was a front for something else.
Anyways, I got so much to talk to you about, dude. So so I saw him. I'm in a club with my friend Mark Caesar at some
man.
club on fucking Tremont Street late at night. All of a sudden, I look over.
And Mark Caesar is as cool as his name would make you think.
Berkeley College of Music, long hair,
Oh, Caesar.
piano.
Oh, my Caesar.
You know where I met him? I'm gonna break his in. I met him at an AA meeting.
Oh.
I get out of rehab.
What does the second A stand for?
What?
What does the second A stand for?
What do you mean?
Anonymous, right?
Oh, sorry.
We do that all the time.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Whatever. Are you right? I shouldn't have done that.
No,
Mark
it's okay.
C.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is great stuff. This is gold.
I'm at a meeting. I get out at 14 months in rehab. I go, what do I do? The guy goes, go to a meeting too far away from your house that you can't get a ride. Get a ride there. Don't get a ride back. So you'll have to ask somebody.
Wow.
So I go all the way up to the hospital up in Stoneham.
My word.
I have my stepdad, Larry, God rest his soul, passed away.
Yeah.
He drives me up to you. How are you going to get back? I'll get a ride. He's like,
Wow.
how? I go, I don't know. Dude, I'm shitting my pants. I'm sitting at the door as people are coming in. Kid walks in. I go, hey, can I get a ride? He goes, no. I fucking hate this kid. I hate him to this day. If I see him, I'll go, fuck you.
Wow.
I said no. Mark Caesar comes in. Ripped shirt, fucking chains,
Yeah.
rock and roll, hair, flipping.
Yeah.
I go, hey, can I get a ride? He looked me up. He goes, yeah, man, after the show. Walks over to the piano, starts playing because he's, Berkeley.
Yeah.
Chicks, just smoking
Oh,
hot,
wow.
still shaking AA chicks.
Yeah, that's Caesar.
I was like, oh, my God. Took me to Bickford's that night until 2 in the morning.
Let's explain Bickford's. Bickford's
Oh.
was IHOP of a certain area for a certain amount of time, and it was always packed with people who were in bands, but also theater kids and AA. Yeah, and
24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours, and they had this thing called, I think it was called the Baked Apple or the Big Apple or something
The
like that.
Big Apple.
The Big
And they had the
Apple.
Little Apple for pussies. But they had the Big Apple, which was a Dutch pancake with apples
Yes.
and the butter. They would
Yeah.
just drop
Oh, yeah.
a stick of butter on the top.
4,000 calories probably.
I mean,
plus maple syrup.
oh, plus maple, dude. The Big Apple. And there it is right there. Oh, my God.
Eat all we wanted back then
All we wanted,
and not
bro.
worry.
It was so good. And
Yeah.
you'd wait 20 or 30 minutes for that Big Apple.
Oh, because it was
jamming.
busy. It was busy there, man.
He took me there that night, and he's still my friend to this day.
Yeah.
helped me get sober.
He's a really nice guy, and he was friends with Leo and Catazone,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I just saw Leo.
Wow.
I ran into him in front of Sirius. He's working. He has a studio in L.A.
Wow, yeah, he's a real producer. He is a great guy. Those guys were great,
Prodigy.
generous, kind.
Toured with
guys.
Stevie Nicks when he was like 16.
Wow.
That's how good he was.
My word.
But I remember,
But so down to earth and approach. I love those guys.
because it's Italian. The Italian, those guys are down to earth guys.
There's some Italians that aren't as nice as Leo.
That's true. I always thought you were going to go with me on that, but you're right. There's some assholes out there.
Yeah.
There's some garbage people. Dude, I go into the thing with Mark Caesar, nightclub. I look over, Pete Kelly's with a smoker.
Pete Kelly was a
Smoke.
what's the word? I wouldn't say coxman, but because I don't.
He was a coxman.
Yeah, he was a coxman. All right.
100% coxman.
Yeah.
Good word. Classical.
Yeah.
I look over. He has his hair across his face, smoking hot blonde.
Yeah.
I walk up. I go,
So
hey.
much confidence.
I go, I want to work with you. He goes, yeah, man, fill out the form. Really cool. I go, no. I go, I want to work with you. I don't want to work with anybody else. I want to work with you. How do I work with you?
Yeah.
He goes, all right, call me. Gave me his number. I had to write it down on a piece of paper. I had to use my phone. I got a thing I do. He put me into the Harrison Project.
The
at his
Harrison
house.
Project. Yes, I
And
remember that.
He handpicked the students.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the one who taught me how to act.
But also, regarding the fact that Peter did well with the women, game no game. So he probably sensed that of you as well, right? That this was another cool man.
Yeah. I mean, I fucked a lot of those people in that. Dude, I had sex with
No, I remember going to see. Was it 3 dogs and a bone or 2 dogs?
2 dogs and a bone.
There's a number of dogs plus a bone.
It was 2 dogs and 1 bone.
And yeah, and man, that bone was going around that cast. Bob Kelly's bone was making its way through that cast. As I recall, there wasn't a member of the cast, and I'm including cast. I'm talking production. I'm talking the person who has the clipboard and says things such as 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, 5.
Sweet.
And then places.
It's like the big girl. I remember the last night. This is so funny. The last night, I was getting changed in my dressing room, and I'm naked, and I look over. She's in the darkness behind the stage,
man.
looking at me like this. And I went, hey. She went, you want to ride home? I went, yeah, why not? I drove home. We fooled around in my driveway.
God love you.
Yeah, it was a great time. Back then, dude, I mean, a different time, dude.
Yeah.
The 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
but no matter what time I feel like you were living in, you would have made the most of it.
Yeah, I don't think I would survive.
time,
I don't
same
think I would
time.
survive these times.
You would adjust. You're a thoughtful person who
Yeah.
is not an asshole.
I was a romantic.
Yeah,
I like.
you were romantic, and you went on dates.
Yep.
And you would occasionally fall in love.
Yep.
And yeah, you're not garbage, man.
No, I did. Every girl I was with, I liked.
Yeah.
I was like a Brazilian prostitute. I didn't just sleep with men. I had to like you. Yes, I got paid.
I didn't know that about Brazilian prostitutes.
Dude, I remember,
They had to like you.
I mean, back in the day, when I would have girls, because I didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody to
Right.
take care of me.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd meet girls and they would, like, even my wife now, Dawn, when I first met her, she was the best. She would take care of me. She would,
Yeah.
I didn't have money to go to dinner. Like, she'd be like, I want to go, like, to Applebee's. I'd be like,
Right.
I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What we were able to get out of having absolutely no money, what we were able to do with our lives is really something else, because I just remember I would need a shirt or jeans for a date, and I would be like, all right, I'll wear these, but I'm not taking off the tags, and I'll have to return them
Really?
tomorrow. Yeah, I would do things like that, or I had my work clothes on, and we got a gig last minute.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wear the work clothes. They smelled and everything. I was all sweaty.
Yeah.
And food on them. And so I would go to the Macy's or Lord and Taylor or whatever was open and get an outfit and then take really good care of it and return it the next day because I couldn't afford to keep it and stuff.
Crazy
we
times.
we were not even breaking even from stand-up comedy. We had a number of side hustles and I remember you used to put people to sleep you would do an overnight at a halfway house or something like that.
I would kill kids.
Yes.
Who were bad. I
Yes.
would put them to sleep. And mentally retarded kids, I would put them to sleep. Yeah, I would kill them. Yeah, I didn't talk about that really, because but I think the statute of limitation. I can talk about it now.
Yeah, the statute of limitations.
I had
of
5
murder.
jobs. How many jobs I had? I had
Yeah.
La Familia Giorgio's,
Yep.
waiting tables.
Yeah.
I worked Sundays. I delivered flowers
Wow, I didn't know about the flower
in Revere.
delivery. Wow.
I used to drive around, smoke a cigar, and deliver flowers. I worked at the overnights at the juvenile hall.
Yep.
I lived with the mentally challenged,
Disabled.
disabled
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
That's where I lived.
Yeah.
I had all these jobs, and then I would do comedy.
Yeah.
And it was all to do stand-up.
Yes.
Because it was all from 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock every night
Yeah.
was free.
Yeah.
That's the only time I needed free.
Right.
I could do shit all those other times to compensate. My rent was $125.
Oh my word.
I lived on Shirley Ave on the
Yeah.
top floor of Maria Falzone's
Maria
house.
Falzone's apartment
Yeah,
building.
where were you?
Where was I?
Where were you living? Like,
Oh, partially I was living in Brighton with some friends from college, and then also I was living at home a lot.
right?
And yeah, but we spent a lot of time together at work at La Familia Giorgio's.
Remember that.
And then hanging out at clubs. That's the thing that doesn't exist anymore. It seems like maybe it does elsewhere, but we would just hang out hoping to get 5 minutes from Rich Seisler or Kevin Knox or Paul D'Angelo or something like that, and that was our night. And if we didn't get on, we still got to hang around with each other and see a lot of really good comedy. It was a really interesting time.
It did, back in the day, that's what you did. Like, even
Yeah.
in New York at the Boston, you would hang out.
Oh, okay.
You would hang out.
Yeah.
And that hang is gone.
Right.
You get passed or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no comics
Yeah.
hanging out
Yeah.
because that's not the way you do it anymore.
Right.
There wasn't a, hey, you hang out, give tickets away, or you get people to come in and you'll get a spot.
Yeah.
There was none of that shit.
Right.
You had to hang out at the club,
Yeah.
hope somebody didn't show,
Right.
or hope that, like you said, somebody took a liking to you
Yeah.
and said, hey, you want to go up?
Yes.
And then you went up, and if you did good, you get to come back.
Right.
If you did bad, you had to wait 6 months. Right?
Yeah, there was a meritocracy to it in many ways. There was also I had a good friend, Paul D'Angelo, who would put me up on any show he did, and I often didn't deserve it, but
Right.
I did jump the line by being able to work for
Yeah, but
with
you
him
were
a
good
lot.
out of the gate. Kid.
Nah.
Buddy, I was there.
Okay.
I was there.
All right.
And we were all good out of the gate.
Yeah, we were pretty
Billy
good.
was good.
Billy was
Patrice
good,
was
yeah,
good. Dane was good.
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah.
Al
was good.
No, Al, I'll tell you what about Al Domeni.
I'll tell you, out of all of us, he may have been the most naturally funny.
The most naturally funny, charismatic,
Yeah.
and acting
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He was a great actor and so handsome.
But he just didn't give a fuck.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that part of the reason why he was so good was that he didn't give a fuck,
Yep.
but also the not giving a fuck means you don't really push for what you want.
Yeah, and then I remember he moved to New York,
Yeah.
but he moved to Queens.
Right.
But way the fuck out there. So, like,
Yeah.
when you were home, you were home.
Right.
I was like, dude,
Right.
get in the city. And I remember I finally got him into the cellar to get an audition.
Oh, wow.
And I remember Esty was like, "Oh, you're wearing a toupee?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, that was sucky."
I
You
didn't
know,
know he wore a
I
toupee.
didn't.
Oh.
She was just fucking with him.
Oh, jeez
And that hurt
Louise.
his
Oh, of
feelings,
course. He
right?
was so sensitive.
Yeah.
He was as sensitive as
But
any
he
of
was
us.
always a girlfriend guy.
Yes.
Always never not had a girl.
Yes.
Always had a chick.
Yeah, a long-term girlfriend. I remember the first time I met him, he was dating a woman. We were 23 maybe. He was
Yeah.
dating a woman in her 30s when that might as well have been your mom.
And he moved to Derry
Wow.
to be with her.
Wow.
And then when he moved here, he got another. He moved in with a girl there. Wound up dating
Martha.
her. Martha.
Yeah.
Moved here with her.
Yeah.
And then
she wasn't old, but she had an old woman's name.
and a face and hands. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. She was
going
very
too
pretty.
far. She was
very
lovely.
Pretty. She was very pretty. Yeah. Yeah. I saw her hand on my shoulder one time.
What if you invented this now? the Rodney? I mean, that would be. Would it take off? Would people be like, what the fuck?
I bet it would. I think
hope it would.
comedy's coming full circle.
I've heard people are telling jokes on stage frequently. Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's what Jesse Fox was telling me the other day on an interview I was doing. He was saying, I saw comedians just going up there and telling jokes into a microphone, and I was horrified.
Did you see a Jeremy Piven show?
No, there were a few guys in Boston who would go up there with like jokes and it was that was the other good thing about starting off in Boston, that there was kind of an unofficial attitude of do whatever the fuck you want up there, but be original, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah, that was very helpful.
Everybody was silhouetted.
Yeah.
Like even our thing, we were all funny but very different.
Yes.
With similarities.
Yeah.
But what you did, what Dane did, what I did,
Yeah.
what Patrice did, what Billy did, what Al did,
Yeah.
we're all different
Yeah.
in our ways. I feel like there's a lot of the same.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of the same
There's
guy.
photocopies of.
What is that from? Because my theory is that these guys, young kids, because remember we've been doing this so long, they watch comedy.
Yeah.
We didn't have that ability.
Yeah.
We had to go on stage.
Right.
We didn't have the ability to watch comedy.
Exactly.
We had to get up there and do it.
Yeah.
That's why we found our way.
Yeah.
These guys sit there and watch stand-up,
Right.
clip after clip after clip on all these social media stuff, and they kind of find their voice through what
Yeah.
they're watching.
Right, but there's also a lot of people use that as training wheels, and then they discard the training wheels. But a lot of these guys are getting such success so quickly, they never have to disregard the training wheels. They can just do a version of this guy for their entire careers.
It goes back to that. Do you want to be famous or funny?
Yeah.
You want to be a good
Yeah.
actor? You want to be famous?
Yeah, and
A lot of guys. A lot of
we
people
were a
pick
class of people who wanted to be respected by comedians and each other.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Just the idea of hack court always makes me think there should be a legitimate official hack court now,
Right.
to keep people from biting each other so hard.
Too many shows, too many
many
clubs.
shows.
There's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much.
yeah.
There's too many ways
Yeah.
to watch stand up now. You don't
Yeah.
even need to be at a
Right.
live. You can
Yeah.
be famous
Yeah.
without ever doing a live show.
I know.
I mean, there's
I
comics
know.
that are doing shows
Yeah.
in an empty room
Yeah.
and adding the laughter
Wow.
and fooling people online and getting I mean,
My word.
it's a you know what it became? Comedy was a dirty, fucked up job. Like
Yeah.
nobody wanted
Yeah.
it.
It was
when
a
we were
a subculture of rejects, misfits, and yeah,
and now it's just like getting a job
Yeah.
at Best Buy.
totally. It's
It's- you-
dentistry.
You can you can make good money
Yep.
and you're a foot doctor or a dentist. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yep.
And
Man.
that's what sucks.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. It's a bummer because that fact that you had to wade through the muck
Yeah.
and mire of the Boston comedy scene
Yeah.
kept a lot of upstanding people out of it. A lot of people with really good degrees.
It filtered the bad. Dr. Dan, who's that?
He's a dentist comedian.
Oh Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my word.
I mean,
Dentistry, is there it's organized crime?
is it?
I think so. They won't take any insurance.
They take my insurance.
Your dentist takes your insurance
Yeah.
full 100%. What insurance
I
do
do
you
a copay like $50.
really?
Yeah.
For more than a cleaning.
SAG.
For more than a cleaning.
SAG, yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
Wait a second. I
If
don't
they
know.
have to do any actual work,
Oh, when I
fillings
had to get
or
I had to
root
get-
canals.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
out of pocket.
Yeah.
The cleaning is just a loss leader in which they find thousands of dollars of work they can bilk you out of. Every other doctor takes insurance.
But dentist, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I just go for
And
cleaning
a lot
twice
of
a
them
year.
won't take Medicare or Medicaid. It's a racket, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm good friends with
And
my dentist.
My mom
I'm gonna
used
cut
to
him
have
off.
to go. My mom, no, if he's doing right by you, but my mom used to have to go to the Tufts School of Dentistry, the Tufts University
My uncle's a cop
School
there.
of Dentistry,
Downtown
to
Boston.
have these 23-year-olds muck around in her mouth,
Yeah.
and it took months and months, and she was in constant pain. It was a nightmare.
I had to do that when my SAG thing ran out, and I
Yeah.
had to get other insurance that wasn't good.
Yeah.
I had to go to this place in fucking New Rochelle,
Oof.
next to a Staples, and this guy was like from
Strip mall dentistry.
yeah, he was from like Syria or like the top of Africa somewhere, and he was just no, he was like scraping, digging, and then I was like, he's like, you got it.
Wow.
And then he tapped me, he goes, you're done. I go,
Wow.
well, I hurt. He goes, you're done. You're good. And I was
My
like,
word.
fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
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 I'm
That's
so-
just the tip of the iceberg with that business.
I love that. I love
The guy in Rochester, though, he's a really nice guy.
What guy
the
in
man who
Rochester?
owns the Rochester Comedy Club, the Carlson.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
a great dentist.
great
and,
guy.
and I don't want to say his name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But he's a great guy, and he's very generous with comedians in terms
Is
of
he?
doing dentistry and things like that. He's a really kind, thoughtful
Him and his
man.
wife.
And his wife is a dentist, and they're lovely and they're vegans. I adore them.
I'm actually playing there this week.
Oh, nice. A
Yeah.
nice plug.
Nice,
a
well,
nice
it's a late plug because this doesn't come out till after I'm
Oh,
there.
okay.
But
All
we have a
right.
live audience watching right now,
Okay.
so maybe you guys will,
you guys
pass
should
on the word.
you guys should go because it's a great room to see a great comedian, one of the all-timers.
You know that's where I last drank.
In Rochester, New York? I didn't know that.
The first time playing that club, he was driving me around, and I was like, "This looks familiar," and I go, "Can you please?" And I googled this farm that I used to work on.
Oh, that's right.
That farm is right near the club. And I used to work there. He brought me to the farm and I walked around. I'm like, dude, this is the last job I had when I drank.
Wow.
And we went to the store where I stole the gumball machines. Last time I got arrested.
The store was still open.
We went by the house where I got a shotgun to my head by the cops.
That is
Yeah.
ridiculous. You were
That-
unarmed, but they felt you needed a shotgun?
That's what I said. He goes, if he moves, shoot him. I go, it was gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, those small town cops.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I went to all those places.
Way out of proportion.
It was way out of
The
proportion.
gumball.
Yeah, it wasn't a really badass thing to be arrested for, too. Rochester jail, worst jail I've ever been in.
Do you know I had a gumball machine in my house it must have been from a grocery store, but my mother's twin brother, Uncle Norman, was able
Uncle
to get-
Normie?
Yeah. He was able to get things like that because of his job.
What was his job?
He was a criminal.
Oh,
He really was. He was a burglar.
Hey.
And so we would have one winter we had a pinball machine in our kitchen, like a legit pinball machine not from an arcade, but like a sub shop level of pinball
Yeah.
machine in our and it was the old version where it rolled over. It didn't have digital or anything like that. It was pretty awesome, but we were like poor people. We could barely afford heat, and we had a pinball machine
from
from Uncle Norman.
from Uncle Norman.
Yeah, he was a fence. So sometimes he would
Really?
he would have stolen merchandise that he didn't have room for.
So he'd just
keep
leave
it
it-
at my mother's house.
That's hilarious.
And then so some days we'd have a great TV, and then other days we would not have a great TV. But he usually made good on our TV
So he'd bring
situation.
he'd bring a TV in, and they'd be like, "I gotta take this."
yeah,
and then replace
yeah,
it with the
because
shittier one.
he had sold it.
So funny. I remember,
Yeah.
dude. When we lived in an apartment. My mother divorced the bad stepfather. We lived
Yeah.
in a 2-bedroom, and she made the living room, the TV room, her bedroom. I remember she had to sleep, like she had a mattress on the floor. My mom, and she worked 7 days a week.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I remember we grew
the
up.
single mother is this saint of the community.
It's such a Boston thing. Al had a single mom.
Yeah.
Dane had a single
Yep, me.
mother.
Yeah.
You had a single mom.
Yeah.
Patrice had a
Patrice
single
had a
mom.
single mom.
Billy
Yeah.
didn't.
Really?
No, but he didn't
That's
have a
why
great.
he never seemed like he didn't have a single parent, because I think his parents didn't get along. Maybe.
I don't know. Billy had a rough life too.
Yeah.
Boston.
I remember him having this story where he overheard his father yelling that he hadn't gotten any sex in a while.
Oh, really?
It made me laugh so hard. I never knew that real parents argued over sex.
Dude, I remember walking in. Ever walking in your mom having sex?
No. No,
Dude,
my mother never dated after she and my father divorced.
No?
So there was never that possibility.
my slut mom didn't do that.
Oh, God love her.
She remarried that guy. I remember I walked in on them, the bad guy.
Oh, my word.
I can't get it out of my head.
No, of course
It was
not.
the worst.
That explains everything.
She didn't want it either. I think he was assaulting her.
Oh, Jesus. I'm
And
sorry.
I know, it's terrible. I remember I was I think in 6th grade.
Wow.
No, maybe 5th. And I remember walking in. I had to call my Uncle Tommy. He came over. Had
Wow.
a break. Dude, it was you watch all these things on Instagram and social media where you have trauma as a kid.
Yeah.
I got them every
yeah.
time. I got them
No,
all.
of course.
I got them all.
Of course.
And this is the weird thing is that we were brought up to not even deal with it.
yeah.
You know, fuck you.
Ignore
get over it. Ignore it.
Yeah. And that was so long ago. It's okay.
It's still there.
I still think about it frequently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder why. You wonder why these things happen now. Why I catastrophize.
Totally.
Why I'll take something good and make it bad.
Yeah.
It's because good things became bad.
We're always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, because I was having fun and then I was getting beat up by some dude that my mom liked.
Oh, my word.
You know, and you
Yeah.
so, and that
But here's the other connection we have that I don't know. Maybe people are aware of this, is that we share a therapist who has added so much to our lives. I mean, I think about him as sort of a guardian angel that we were able to get to at the right time in life too, when we need to make big decisions.
it bothers me because, you know, some people go, you know, oh, that guy, the comic, oh, well, fuck that. Dude,
Yeah.
you didn't try. I went to him, but you didn't do it.
Right.
In my brain, if you went to Alan and you had a problem with him, it's because you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
really trying to do therapy.
Yeah.
Because he calls me a lifer. Are you a lifer?
Yeah, of course. But the idea of being cured from this thing is the wrong approach to analyze it from. I think the more accurate thing is this is just like lifting weights or going for runs or whatever, but for our brains and for our well-being and our outlook. I mean, I'm a much happier, better person because of this exercise I do once a week on Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:15 frequently, right after you get out.
My favorite, my Gulman hug. when I got out of Allen and you're there, and I get the Gulman hug.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've learned in the last year is acceptance.
Oh my gosh, he's
Accepting.
been telling me about acceptance for since 2006, and it's only occurred to me as pretty much the only thing I needed to learn, but it took me 16 years to figure it out. And not just acceptance of yourself, but the people we love in our lives.
Yeah.
It's so valuable.
Yeah.
But not easy.
No, it's not easy, and it's also the fact that I'll have a good day. I'm never going to have. I thought that going to therapy, going to meetings, or whatever, there's going to be a point where I'm just going to be good.
Yeah.
I just go through every day is going to be the shit for the next 20 years until I'm dead. It's not that.
No.
You have this great day and you got it all. You worked out. You went to Allen. You feel great. You helped somebody else out, your wife and your kid. You feel loved. And the next day, you wake up and somebody says something to you.
Yep.
Somebody does something.
Yeah.
And you feel like shit and it beats you. And it's directly related to something back in the day.
Yep.
You know, I had something last week. I had a great time. Great. I had a great time. Went to Skankfest.
Okay.
And I, you know, it has this reputation of being this fucking, it's not. It's like everybody's there.
Yeah.
Women, gays, trans, fucking black, white, everybody's there. And everybody's doing shows. And everybody's hanging out. And the fans have such a bad reputation. They're the nicest people in the world. They literally go, I'm such a big fan. Can I have a photo? You feel like a rock star.
Yeah.
Every show is packed.
Wow.
With fans.
Yeah.
That know you.
Yeah.
And when you come out, I mean, I mean,
Oh, wow.
I can't, dude, I was on a panel where 3 of the 4 people admitted to just being with trans women. And we're talking macho guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking, this is the greatest festival ever. We're the most progressive festival ever.
Right.
Like, other festivals jam trans people on shows to look good. Wait, you guys are sleeping with trans. You're admitting this is great. Greatest week ever. Went hiking in the fucking desert with Ari.
Oh, wow.
In the desert. Dude, worked out every day. Did the shows. Canceled some shows because I was doing a little too much, right?
Interesting.
Dude, such a good time.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, somebody did something to me.
Oh.
A friend did something to me that fucking kind of made me just crushed.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
I went to like Buddha stuff, and one of the guys was like, it's like holding a hot coal. If it burns, put it down.
Wow.
It won't burn.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to put it down. I can't. I had to call that person, and that person didn't give me the response I wanted. They blamed me.
Oh.
And I was like, And I talked
Wow.
to Alan. It's like, dude, accept your friends.
Yep.
That's that was going to happen.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And yet we're surprised so frequently, but we know exactly.
I feel like it's 50 first dates. I wake up every day and I go, hi.
Yeah.
And someone has to put in front of me,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
do this,
Yeah.
pray,
Yeah.
meditate, call somebody, work out, eat
Yeah.
right, think about something you're grateful for.
Yes.
Every day, because I forget.
Yeah. You once you're in that place where you're grateful
Yeah.
and feeling good and looking forward to days,
Yeah.
consistently, you have to be vigilant because the other side is so sneaky in trying to. I've heard it said about booze and drugs, but it's also the same thing with depressive thinking and negative thinking. You really have to be vigilant because you think it's just one day off from not eating right, one day off from not. But that second day is much easier to skip a workout or to skip being with friends or going to Allen. Oh, I don't need Allen in this week. I'd rather not go in. And it's just.
I did it last week. We went up. It's country. Wednesday night. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Didn't work out. We kind of ate, whatever. And I'm on vacation. I'm with the family.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Came back this morning. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm fucked. I need to go. I got to go back on smoothies in the morning. I don't want any more shit.
Yeah.
I got to go work out right now. I haven't worked out.
Yeah.
If I don't work out now because I lost the weight and I work out now, if I don't work out, my brain gets depressed.
Yes.
This morning, depressed,
Yes.
paralyzation.
Yep.
It fucking paralyzes me.
Yeah.
Where I'll do this. I'll go on the road and I'll sit in a hotel room like this.
Yeah.
Watching TV or being on my dumb phone.
No, I know.
I'll be home.
I know.
It's Gary, it's fucking insidious.
Yeah.
And it sneaks up and you don't even know that the snake is wrapped around you.
Totally.
And you're like, oh my God. And then you have to break free of it, which is even harder. Because a lot of times I got to do it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're on the road. The road is man, it's tough. People would say, "Oh, but you're away. You don't have as many responsibilities." But it's lonely, and it's easy to not do your routine that you have back at home that gets you healthy.
Dude, the road to me now, I got to go, like I said, I got to go to Rochester. People, and I have to, it's my brain. My brain will just look at it negative.
Yeah.
I got to go. I got to leave. You built this fucking house you love with a person I love my wife. I love my son. I love sitting on the couch.
Yep.
Watching stupid things with Max and giggling and making, dude, he's so fun. And she's in the background,
Yeah.
you know, hanging out.
That's exactly what you always wanted.
Always.
Yeah.
Fucking want. I have the family I didn't have.
Right.
I got it.
Yeah.
But, and then I got to leave it.
No, I know.
But it's like, I got to change my way of thinking. Like I get to go, I'll go make people laugh this weekend. I'll make some money. But I'm really starting to go, listen, if it's not this, I ain't going.
Right.
If it can't be here, I'm out. I want to do one show.
Yeah.
Let me go in that town and I don't want to do 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to do 4.
Yeah.
Let me do 1.
It's a lot.
Dude, we've done it for 30 fucking
I know.
years, bro.
I know.
We're road dogs.
Yep. Totally.
But you've done something that I felt like I was almost there, but you've done something that you went and started writing these pieces of comedy, right?
Yeah.
About something.
Oh yeah.
And then you started playing theaters. And you're not in the clubs as much.
Right.
And you're coming and you're doing, and I've always wanted to kind of go there and do that. But, and me and you, like, I don't know if people know, we were writing this thing together.
Yeah.
The Final Fat.
Right.
And then the COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I mean, blew it up. I mean, we were, I mean, dude, it was right there.
No, I know.
Like we had like
it's not
30
gonna
minutes.
go away.
So, well, it's a different thing now.
Yeah.
Because I got that surgery.
Right.
I was fat when we were writing it.
Right. But still, nobody is doing anything like that, and that's why it's still viable.
Yeah. I'm still trying to work it over there. I'm back into it now because what happened was, you know, Louis was like, dude, I want to shoot your special.
No, I remember. Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, I go, I'm doing this thing. I don't want that.
Right.
I go, good. I got this whole other hour
Yeah.
that we can do that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And we did this other thing. Yeah. But I look at that special now, dude, I'm a fucking fat piece of shit. I mean, dude.
Right.
350.
Wow. Wow.
I was heavier than the defensive lineman for the Pats.
Yeah.
They're 286, 290.
Yeah.
6 something.
Right, but it's an addiction.
It's one of the fucking worst.
Yeah.
And it still got me, dude.
No, I know.
It still fucking got me.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner for my birthday. I wound up dumping. That's when I eat too much. I can't, my stomach.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
look at this. Look at this. That was me a year ago. Look at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, don't zoom in on my neck. These fucking autistic assholes. I mean, just pieces of shit. It's the worst having comics produce your thing because they're like, yeah, let me zoom in on your fucking triple neck. Fucking asshole. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. I'm telling you right now, therapy for me is a game changer. Most people think they can white knuckle life, go through it, deal with it. That's how we were taught. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. You buried it. You didn't talk about it. You pushed it down. Well, you know what? All that's changed. We don't have to do that anymore. You can get help. Therapy helps you figure out, family life, the heavy stuff, but it also helps you figure out the light stuff, how to get stuff done, how to organize, how to think better. It's awesome. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, which is awesome. Because my therapy, I had to go in 45 minutes, find a parking spot 30 minutes, pay $40, go to therapy, come back, another 45 minutes home. I mean, it's crazy. Now it's totally online. Designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. And you can switch therapists anytime you want for no additional fee. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/dude today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dude. This episode is brought to you by GhostBed. To be the funniest person in the room, you got to make sure you're well rested. It's hard to come up with good jokes when you are sleep deprived. So if you're not sleeping well, it's time to grab a new mattress from GhostBed. Take advantage of free and fast shipping, their 101 night mattress sleep trial, and financing starting at $35 a month. You heard me. You can get a brand new mattress for as low as $35 a month. Listeners get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories, or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress and an adjustable base. Use promo code YKWD at ghostbed.com/YKWD for 40% off site-wide, limited time only. But you wound up changing the game for you, which I love that you did, and you found your fans, and you gave them something. And now you wrote this book.
Oh yeah.
That is out, right?
Yes.
Is this an? And I heard you just did another hour.
I shot a special in June that's coming out on Max on December 21st.
What is it about? Is it just jokes, or is it?
No, it's called Born on Third Base, and it's about my experience.
Playing with the chick's tits?
No, no. Third base is down the pants.
Oh,
that would be
shit.
That would be second base.
So it's about finger fucking.
Imagine that's it. Yeah, that's
if your whole special was about what you want to do is a come hither.
Yeah.
Never use your pinky in a pussy.
It's funny because in the book I talk about finding out what the bases were from this kid in the neighborhood who had a paper route, and I was just horrified because I'd never kissed a girl, and this guy's like, and then third base, and he just made the motion of going down the pants, and I remember just being like, oh no, I'm horrified by this. I get really anxious around girls and everything like that. If somebody had told me on that day that someday you'll have a wife and she'll walk by you and she'll be completely naked, and the thing you will be thinking is don't interrupt this game. It's really something how we grow out of that. But
Dude, the bases
were
I feel like they were a great. It was a great for me, and whenever that was invented, the 50s, probably 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Because it's baseball.
Right.
Some dude trying to teach his son.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Right.
Listen, you kiss.
Yeah.
See where that goes.
Right.
If she's still into it.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that it was about going around the
it's about
bases. Yes.
It's like go to first.
Yeah.
And if you see her going like this, you can run to second.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if there's still ball on the ball, you get into third.
Yeah.
And if you get to third, go home.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? So it's like this this thing that you used with girls to know that, hey, I'm kissing you right now.
Yeah.
And then you would touch her boobs a little bit.
Yeah.
If she would, a lot of times, take your hand.
Cop a feel.
You would let them take the breasts out.
Right.
And you were like, oh, God. She would. And then, you would try to go down. And if she was like, oh, my God. And that's the point. Most of the time, no.
Yeah,
and then you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look I'm using the bases to teach Max.
Okay.
Boundaries.
Right.
You're like, listen.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel fucking.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a more. If you have good morals and you were raised right.
Yeah.
When they go no and you're like, oh, God, that feeling of fuck.
Right.
Yeah. And then you start kissing again. I remember one time I left her. I was like, I can't do this. Why? Because I can't. Because you get the blue balls.
Sure.
Girls used to love doing that.
Oh, sure. But here's because you did such a good job at describing the baseball aspect of it.
Yeah.
There's this thing where a pitcher will throw over to first base if there's a runner on first, right?
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's almost like I'm gonna keep kissing and maybe I'll be able to get second. That's like she keeps throwing over there, but every once in a while maybe she won't throw over this time, and I'll be able to get second. But so we were talking about why it's called Born on Third Base. It's because I grew up. We were. It's all stories of how poor we were and comparing it to what wealth is now. It's funnier than it sounds.
What do you mean, like?
But it's about the financial inequality and being on welfare and what that meant, and that we weren't takers. We were just up against it, and we weren't getting that much. and being on free lunch and food stamps and all that, the experience and it was humiliating, but also it made us feel like we were gritty and we would take solace in that we were tougher than the rich kids, which probably isn't always true. In some cases it's true, but also we suffered too. We have anxiety about money. I'm sure anybody who grew up that way, we have anxiety about money to this day, and everything is about working hard. When there comes a time when probably we won't have to work so hard, but we're instilled with this fear.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that I had to overcome living with a girl is having a joint bank account.
Oh my word, right?
Because I was like, you don't understand how I do my money.
Yeah.
You can't just, you know what I mean? Like, I was terrified of money.
Yeah.
I was terrified of money. And then there was a point where I was like, I know I can provide.
Right.
I'm not going to have, I might not have what that guy has.
Yeah.
Fuck you money.
Yeah, right.
Where you got a bunch of people fucking jerking you off, laughing at your shit.
Yeah.
But I can roof. I remember when I was a kid, it was about a roof, food,
Yeah.
and it was shelter, food,
Yeah.
and values like and family.
Totally. Yeah.
It was that was the American dream.
Yep.
Like 13 of us lived in a 3-bedroom in Medford.
Wow.
But nobody, it wasn't like it was just, that was the Donlins.
Wow.
They lived there. That's what you did.
Yeah.
My grandfather, Catholic, had sex with my grandmother 8 times. 9 times. One of them died.
Wow.
And you keep them.
Wow.
You can't just get rid of them. You can't be like, I have a career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
my
mother had me and my sister. We all lived there.
Wow.
But it was the happiest time of my life.
You never felt more loved.
Dude,
Yeah.
It wasn't, my uncles lived in the basement, musty basement. My other uncle Tommy lived in the sun porch, freezing in the winter.
Yeah.
We lived in my Uncle Sean and my Uncle David and my mother and me and my sister on the floor next to the weight bench.
Yeah.
In their room. It was
my favorite author, I brought him up with you a lot, is Kurt Vonnegut. And he always talks about in a lot of his books the importance and the value of an extended family. And he said when couples are arguing, it's usually because he's saying when they're yelling, you're not enough people for me. You're not providing enough different interests and ideas and conversation and love and support as we used to get. And I mean that makes a lot of sense to me, because one of my favorite times growing up was when we didn't have. There were certain rooms in our house that just didn't get hot in the or warm in the winter. Yeah. So my brothers and I would huddle in this one room where it was better heat, and I would sleep on the floor in between these 2 twin beds. And my father put an end to it. He says my son's not going to sleep on the floor. but I talk about it in the book, and I'm not just trying to plug the book, but this really meant something to me. We would stay up so late shooting the shit. They were much older than me, but we would laugh, and it's one of my great memories of my life. And if we had all had our own room, that never would have happened, and you miss out on that.
It's fun. I remember my uncle Sean. When, literally, we were next to a weight bench, a full-size mattress. My mother, my sister, and me. Wow. And I remember I would wake up all the time. My Uncle Sean, who had the paper route, always had a job.
Wow.
I would always wake up to like a Twinkie or something.
Man.
I would always wake up to that little...
Wake up to love.
And I would be next to me on the thing. And I remember that to this day. And I remember let's go take a walk. And we'd walk up the street. And I mean, all 5 of my uncles, I was like their little mascot.
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah. That's what I was with my brothers. They were 10 and 13 years older than me. They would take me all over the place to their games and out with their friends and to the mall and everything like that. And I remember this one time my grandmother was staying there, and so she had her own room, and I went into that room because it was also my room. Yeah. And my mother said, "Oh, old people, they don't shut the door." Anyhow. Nana's boobs. I don't know. You've talked about grandparent boobs. I don't know.
I
remember you had a joke about maybe it was that you had pictured your grandmother and grandfather having sex, and you said, "I don't like broccoli." I didn't like broccoli growing up, but now I like it. Am I gonna like having sex with as an old person? And then
I would take the tit and swing it over my
swing it
shoulder.
over your shoulder. You said, "What do? You huck it around the room," and it always
such
made
an
me.
old bit.
Yeah, it always made me think of my grandmother because it didn't so much fall out of her, it like unfurled. It was like a it had the sort of the length and circumference of the snake that popped out of the can of peanuts. You know that?
yeah.
Remember that thing? So that happened. And I remember telling my brothers the story, and then I wrote a rhyme about it and everything. And we were laughing.
wrote a rap?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really a rap. It was this song. I was walking down the hall one day, gonna go to my room to play. When I turned around the door, I saw her boobs upon the floor and decided I should run away. And we
Yes.
we did this laugh, like, you know that laugh, we've had this many times on the road together, where you're like, stop because I'm in pain,
Yeah.
and I may have a stroke.
Right.
And that was the laugh we were doing, and I will never forget it as long as and my mother would overhear the laughter and come in and start, and I'd tell the story, and she'd make excuses, but also she was laughing. Oh man, those were some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, I remember it, dude. It was and people I didn't realize this until recently that Boston was like white slums.
Oh yeah, working class people lived
Working
in
class
these
people in
neighborhoods.
Boston.
Yeah,
We were just no money.
yeah,
People had jobs.
yep. The weird thing was that you didn't have to have a lot of money to own a house.
Back then, no.
Yeah.
Because houses were shit.
Yeah, our house cost like $17,000 or something like that, and with the GI Bill, that my father was a World War II vet, so we were able to get a home, and we were broke.
Yeah, my grandmother's parents' house, my grandparents' house, $13,000.
Wow.
12 people lived in it.
Yeah,
At
and
one
you were
time.
able to get a fair mortgage. And,
He had a
yeah.
backyard with a garden. That
Yep.
he had roses, food, front yard, same thing. He gardened. He had one car. Grandmother never drove.
What was your grandfather's name?
Joe Donlin.
Okay.
Worked for the ATF as a tax guy back in the day. Went to World War II vet.
Wow.
Dude, just a man.
Yeah.
He smokes cigars and pipes in the house.
Wow.
He had his Archie Bunker chair. My grandmother had her chair next to him.
No way.
100%.
What was her name?
Mary Donlin.
Mary Donlin.
The best.
Wow.
Worked at the rectory during the day, making extra
Amazing.
money.
Yeah.
They didn't have money. I remember they didn't have money. They had 5 boys, and I used to have to go to the store twice a day to get gallons of milk because they just drank milk.
Yes.
And they
Whole milk.
Whole milk
Yeah.
from Johnny's Food Master.
Wow. I know Johnny's Food
And
Master.
they used to have Quick, the powdered Quick.
Yep.
And she had to change it to for like 6 months. They didn't have money because they had a milk guy for a while, and she ran the bill up to like $800. My grandfather flipped out, made her get powdered milk.
Wow.
I remember that.
Man, imagine how much $800 was back then.
That was like $20,000.
Yes.
Back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor thing. Oh, it's so sad.
I remember he built this shelf on the corner of the kitchen next to the cabinets, and my grandmother just put shit on it. You know, little things that.
Yeah.
And he would walk by it every time I was there. He'd walk, stop, he'd go, "I built this." And now there's all this crap on it. And then he would just walk. I mean, the funniest guy ever. I remember I'm in the basement. When I used to go back there, I used to stay in the basement where the TV was. His little TV room was.
Yeah.
And he'd go down, open the. I'd see his silhouette, and he'd come in, he'd pop in, and then you'd hear him mumbling. God, son of a bitch, bastard. And I went out one time, and I go, "Who are you talking to, pup?" He goes, "The only one who'll listen."
And what would he watch back then?
Oh, PBS.
Really?
Dude, my
Wow.
punishment, he would always
Joe
put me-
Donlin was a thinker.
Well, my sister and me, he would never punish her. He was very misogynistic. He didn't really talk to the girls.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, great guy, but very, later in life.
That's not misogyny. I think it's more chauvinism.
Chauvinism.
Yeah.
Yes. No, he called them bitches.
Oh, okay.
Dumb broads. But he would always punish me. Never punish my sister. So when we got into trouble, he would make me sit next to him and watch fucking TV. And his TV was the most boring
Sure.
PBS
Yeah.
politics shows, but not like now where it's exciting.
Right.
And
No.
back then it was one old fucking white dude.
The Greater Boston Irish were
Yeah.
a lot of self-educated, and everybody back then was up on civics, man. They knew about politics and everything like that, and they read the paper every day.
Every day.
They were really
Remember the paper?
yes.
I used to love the paper.
Oh man, the paper was awesome.
Go down, cup of coffee, the paper.
Yes.
And thumb through it.
Yes.
And it was the best.
Oh, and we were very limited in that we couldn't look up for anything, but anything we did find, we digested it really.
Because
there was anything ever on a stand-up comedian or a movie we liked. Oh my gosh, we would devour it. It's
too
and
much
savor it. And now it's like, where do I begin? I can know everything there is to know about a scene from a movie that I liked. And back then, you really had to scour a library or my word.
I mean, it kind of. We came from. I mean, dude, they say the greatest generation. I think our generation, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, was
It was a
probably
good
the
time to be alive.
last really
Yeah.
tough, fun kid. Just a fun time to be a kid.
I think you will like my book because I cover the nature of the 70s and the 80s in terms of the lifestyle kids were afforded. Like there was a point where my mom was working at a Hallmark store at the North Shore Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And she couldn't afford a babysitter, so she would just bring me and let me wander around the mall for 5 hours unaccompanied. But I made friends with the teens who worked at Orange Julius. They'd give me free hot dogs and free Julius's. And then the kid who worked at the record store was a neighbor, so he'd let me thumb through the things and he'd play whatever I wanted to hear. It was called Musicland. It was right next to Sears and next to Bookends, where they had a bookstore. I could go in there and look at books all night. It was kind of like my internet, in that I got to listen to a lot of music and read a lot of magazines and stuff like that. And then I'd browse our equivalent of Amazon was just going to the Toys R Us and browsing and looking, and you could play with certain things. And then you could go down to Sears and they had the Atari and the Intellivision set up, and they'd let you play for about 45 minutes before they'd kick you out. And then you could sit on the riding lawnmowers. There was also a shop where they sold pianos and organs, and I'd go in there. That was like my show.
Sears and Robot?
No, Sears
and
Sears and Roebuck was there, but that's where I could sit on the riding mowers and play the Atari. But it was called Scotty Piano and Organ, and this guy and his two sons ran it. And they'd play a medley for you, knock you on your ass. These guys were great with the organs and pianos. So I was getting a great education. I remember the guy who worked at the piano place. He took me for an ice cream at the Baskin Robbins, and he wanted nothing more. He just wanted to take me for an ice cream.
He didn't want any kid sex?
No, there was no obligation on my end, and he didn't even hint at anything. It was just
you didn't try to go to second base.
I know it's like Pollyanna, whatever, that everything was fine, but I think the idea of kids were about to be kidnapped at any moment was overstated. I think we were pretty safe, and there was kind of an understanding that you looked out for each other's kids.
I think back then, absolutely, because I remember going to the park by myself.
Me too.
I remember there was a torrential rain in Plaisted Park, and they had a little river that went. It was a sewer drain. It was the sewer.
Oh yeah.
And I remember lying in it with me and Chris Bracha.
Of course.
And it was a fucking flood going into a sewer. It was shit water from the sewers, and we would just play in it.
Yeah.
And no parents were down there.
Had no idea.
I'm out. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And now, Max left.
Came back with tuberculosis.
Max came the other day, and he goes to his mom. These kids showed up for the first time, kids on bikes from his school.
Wow.
And they were like, they wanted to go to the high school and drive around.
Uh-huh.
And Dawn was like, I don't know what to do. I go, let him. I go, Dawn, I was jumping roof to roof when I was 5 in downtown West Medford. Roof to roof.
Yeah.
Fucking jumping.
Yeah.
I go, let him go. Does he know how to ride a bike? Yes. Does he know how to not look both ways when we've taught him everything he needs to know. If you don't let him go right now, you're gonna the responsibility he has. He's not gonna have it. He's gonna feel he's gonna go to you for everything.
Right.
Let him go.
Right.
And
how much of you do you see in him?
a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful.
Okay.
I gotta be careful not to give him. I gotta be careful not to go, you're so awesome. You're so great. I got to be careful. I want to be like, man, you did good. How do you feel about it? You know what I mean? You feel good.
Yeah.
I got to be very careful with the way I do it because I don't want to be too over the top. You're so awesome. You're doing good. I want him to fucking have a realistic view. The things that are important to me, common sense.
Yeah.
Compassion, love.
Yeah.
And don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
That's great.
I go, just please don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Because if you come to me, you'll be able to tell me anything.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell me anything you do, and I'll know you're not lying to me, and I'll be able to help you and I'll always have your back. If you lie to me, and you lose that trust, it's not something you just give back. Everything's gonna be in question after that. But you can come to me with anything. Always tell me the truth, no matter what. And common sense is a big thing too, and love.
Yeah.
I think love is one of the biggest things. I try to tell Dawn, we're trying and we have nobody helping us.
Yeah.
It's not the 50s where your dad's like, well, did you talk to him? I can't go to a front porch and go, Dad, I had it. Well, son,
Yeah.
when you were a kid, remember when I
Yeah.
don't have those times.
Right.
So it's, I want him to like I remember when I was up on the roof. He was like, can I come up? I was like, yeah. Dawn was like, I was like, yes. Dawn.
Yeah.
Because I know other guys who would never let their kids do that.
Right.
We were up in New Hampshire this weekend,
Uh-huh.
up at the tiny house.
Yeah.
And up there they have these fucking old time stores that are still there. These are the places, before Walmart was up there, this is where you went. The original, what Walmart is now. These little barns.
Yeah.
Old houses with stores. And they have everything from a Little Odd Joe to damned if I know.
Can I tell you about a really cute place? And it might be in Georgetown, Mass or whatever, but it was like who knows how old it is, but it felt old.
Yeah.
And what it had was, it had a store that sold milk.
Yeah.
And then for some reason right next door, it had another place that sold sort of artisan milk, like milk that I don't know how it had been pasteurized. And then there was a lemonade stand. And then around the corner from that was a place that made fudge. So it was
What?
milk, lemonade, and then round the corner they made fudge, and there was a counter where you could buy the fudge, but also it was a factory. It was a factory.
Anywho.
I'm sorry.
No, it was fucking great.
It just that idea never gets a very good setup, and I thought I could really backdoor it, because I built up so much trust over the years. It was a really long con.
Oh my God!
There's no way Gary's going for a diarrhea and tits and pee-pee joke, and then he did.
You got me, dude. You had me. I was trying to remember the store. Is that Linfield? Oh God. Anywho, we went to these stores.
Yeah.
And they're up in the country and they have everything. You know, rain gear to fucking Chinese stars, you know, and it's
Right.
just all stuff from China.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, but then there's all Trump stuff.
Oh,
you know,
geez.
you know what I mean? So it's like,
it's like Hampton Beach.
yeah, dude. It's like you guys don't like. We went to the fair, and it's like all these redneck, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but it's all Mexican dudes, like illegal Mexicans running all the rides. It's like,
No, I know.
You know what I mean? It's like you guys.
I know.
are
They
so-
have no sense of irony.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
But you go in there, and I bought him a samurai sword, and I bought him a crossbow.
Wow.
And Dawn was like, "What the?" I go, Dawn. I'm gonna teach him how to respect a samurai sword, like Kill Bill.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like Sonny Chiba and Kill Bill.
Yeah, I handed it to him like this,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and I'm gonna teach him how to
Bob.
use the crossbow.
Oh,
and I
wow.
did. I took. We have a target, and we're out in the woods. I go, listen, man.
Well,
if
you
some-
learned that at Bowercrest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, a crossbow. I mean, Jewish kids learn how to archery at a very young
Oh yeah,
age.
yeah. Archery.
So
totally.
it's like I go, we got to chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him a little responsibility. Give him a chance to fuck up a little bit.
Does she ever win these types of arguments with the?
She understands. Dawn
Yeah.
from Boston too.
Right.
Look, I told her the other day. I go, Dawn, do you remember what you did? I go, you were smoking when you were 12
Yeah.
at the park
No, it's true.
with your friends.
Yeah.
He just wants to go take a
Yeah.
bike ride.
Yeah.
He wants to go take a bike ride, and we're
Right,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Right,
Let him
yeah.
go. We're so
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
love your kid. I love your
Yeah.
kid, and we don't have 8 of them.
Right.
If you had 8 of them, you might be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But one thing I was thinking of when you were talking about, I don't want to build him up too much, and I think.
Not build them up. I said it the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Not that I build them up too much, but if you
You were talking
if-
about the
if-
realistic.
if you're praising them
expectations.
all the time,
Yeah.
unwarranted,
Yeah.
I think it's bad. I think
It
that if
could
you
be.
give them, hey man, you did a great job. You did it. That was awesome, man. How do you feel about it? And let them respond. I feel if I let him respond to it, he'll be like, that was good, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it next time.
Yeah.
And it makes them achieve.
Yeah.
Then, dude, you're so great. Everybody's great. You're awesome. You're the best. I don't think that's. I think when he deserves that, yeah. When he doesn't,
Right,
Or he didn't,
yeah.
if he didn't do something
Yeah.
totally, I'd be like, dude, you kicked ass today. You did, like
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, dude. You got to listen a little more if you could try that.
Yeah.
But you killed it today. You really focused on
Yeah.
that. This was great. That was great. You just got to, on that one move, and that gives him the thing like, all right, I'll try to get that thing. Instead of just, thanks, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I just think that there's something Alan always says is that the one of the more important things you can do for your kids is enjoy them and enjoy their company and really let them know that you like their character, their behavior, their personality, and stuff like that. And I don't think that was ever a concern of our family. Part of my family probably enjoyed certain aspects of me, but there always seemed to be this management of. I had no ego, but they were trying to keep me in my place. Like I didn't really think that much of myself, but anytime I had an opportunity to gloat or be proud or anything like that, all right, why don't you? My brother's favorite expression was, okay, why don't you get a hinge on your back so you can blow yourself? Which is like, Alan told me that's not even an original thing, but I remember hearing
like
that
it.
anytime I would say anything.
Oh,
you,
so-
you know
yeah.
you know how athletes are. They're always tooting their own horn, which is part of the appeal.
Yeah.
And I would have a good game or to make shots in basketball or to catch balls in football and be like, why don't you get a hinge on your back so you can blow yourself? Or when you first start when you first start working out, you start showing your muscles in the mirror and everything like that, and it's just like, and that was the same thing. Why don't you put a hinge on your back so you can blow yourself? And it's like, first of all, it's disgusting. And second, is this the worst thing that I feel good about myself? I've been so self-deprecating and self-effacing my entire life, and I start to feel myself a little bit, and they immediately try to put it out because I think a lot of people can't handle their reflection on you. I don't like how I feel about myself. Why does this guy have to have some self-esteem? And it's a bummer, man.
Well, you know what I've done in the last couple of years is I've eliminated people out of my life who what was the thing I read? Avoid all thoughts. Avoid all thoughts that make you weak.
Oh wow, that's really good.
And I wrote it down in my sauna, and I've tried to do that in the last few years of people that make me weak or people that I don't have the time for.
Yeah,
I don't.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's my kid, my wife, number one.
Yep.
And then there's people outside of that.
Yeah.
And there's people that I have in my life that I'm not going to accept, right? Try to not change them.
Yeah.
It is what it is because
Yeah.
I'm a fuck up too. I do bad shit. I fuck up as a friend all the time.
Yeah.
But then there's the people outside of that who I cut the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because I can't, they just represent something I cannot be a part of.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
Right.
Because I'm going this way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a father and a husband and a friend and a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a gazillionaire, fucking banging broads, I'm just not.
No, I know that's
that,
not
at one
us.
time was my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Let me get as much money,
Yeah.
as much cooch,
Yeah.
and have as much fun.
Yeah. And how happy were we? Not very.
I was not. I was happy at times.
Yeah.
And the memory's
It was
great,
fleeting, but
but I'm
a
kind of
relationship
yeah.
and the values that we have, they don't.
That's
they
a
don't-
young man's
they-
game.
But also, they don't intersect with what we want out of life.
Nah, when did that
Yeah.
fucking change? When did we? It's like all of a sudden, it's like
No, we always wanted a.
You think
we
we're
always
all-
wanted a family.
I think
Yeah.
I think we always had that thing inside of us.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, something happened where it was like, I'm just gonna go do this guy now. I want to go be who I always thought I was.
Well, we had people in our life who we saw that happening too, and we're like, oh, that looks like a lot of fun.
Right.
But they were not very self-aware,
Yeah.
so they weren't saying, "No, it's empty, man. It's empty."
No.
And it gets emptier as you get older, and you realize that there's no connection there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what Alan talks about so frequently is our connections with each other and looking into each other's eyes and
Yeah.
and being able to
Yeah.
be ourselves around people. That's the real value. I mean, I look back on dating and it's like, oh my gosh, I had to be this other more interesting and interested guy that was really not me.
Yeah.
It was what I thought girls would be attracted to.
I'm so glad I have to go through that. Now.
Oh, I feel for these young guys, man.
Yeah. So fucking glad.
Yeah.
I have a street joke. You want to hear it?
Yes.
The book is called Misfit: Growing Up Awkward in the '80s. I can't wait to get it.
I think you'll like it. You can also listen to it on Audible if you like that.
Nah, I want to
No?
read it.
Okay. All right.
I want to have
cool.
it with me.
All right. Cool.
How many pages?
288, I think.
That's a book.
It's a real book.
Maybe I'll listen to it.
It's a 10-hour listen.
A 10-hour listen.
Yeah.
Did you do the voice?
Yeah.
How was that?
Awesome.
Really?
Yes. Because I figured it out on my Audible app, 244 books just on that Audible app, plus all the ones I used to borrow from the library on CD.
Right.
So I've listened to hundreds of these, and I always used to say, first of all, I'm going to make sure I pronounce all the names and places right so that I don't irritate people who know the real answer. And the other thing is, it's an acting exercise, really.
Yeah.
You have a director in there, and they get you to say this thing. We're pretty good at it already because
Right.
we've been doing conversational stand-up for a long time. We're not. What do you call it?
Novices?
No, there was a
Amateurs?
type of comedian when we first started that used. This is the word you used to use. You ready? Schmammy.
Schmarmy.
Yeah.
Fucking schmarmy cocks.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I used that a lot.
Yeah. Those types of comedians who are really well rehearsed and it
Yeah.
was just coming off and it was also so rhythmic and everything like that. But even in our early days, we knew even before, like the alternative comedians were really good at it, but we knew even in Boston, we're going to talk like we talk.
Right. Yeah.
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 And that was really helpful.
Yeah. I remember those schmarmy cocksuckers. I do. They're fucking tumbling. I'm still mad at a couple of them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Fucking catch 'em.
Of course, but we need to let that go because here's another thing I realized that what we're really angry at is the unfairness of this business and of life, and so we'll pick a person and put all our resentment into that person, and it's really and yes, that person sucks and everything like that, but it's really we're just using them as like a scapegoat for all our anger and rage.
And rage. We both got rage.
Oh my god!
Me and you got it.
Oh, hair trigger.
It's hair trigger.
Hair
but
trigger.
Laser when it
Oh,
comes out.
it is
It's
laser.
like military.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one great thing I learned from my wife is how to argue kindly
Really?
rather than go for the win,
Yeah.
which is the way we're taught from growing up with our dysfunctional families is that you just what's the most hurtful thing I can say right now and say it and it's
That's
just
what
it's
Alan
not
taught
good
me.
for it's not good for a marriage.
He told me you don't have to win
Yeah.
and be weak. Apologize. He
Yes.
told me to apologize to my wife about. I go, that's fucking weak. He goes, be weak. Apologize.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
weakness is a
I
strength.
did apologize to my wife. You
Yeah.
know what she said?
What?
You're a fucking puss.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I did something the other day that I must have read about it somewhere where we got in this huge argument at literally 6:10 a.m. And I came back after exercising and I said, "Can we just start over?" And it wasn't like a trick.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Please give me a do-over on this because I fucked up and
Yeah.
and it was so helpful, man."
I did the same thing with Max. Max had a really bad day, and it got to the point I screamed.
Yeah.
I yelled
Yeah,
because he was acting like an asshole.
sure.
And he went in the room, and he was punished. He's sitting in the thing. I went in the shed, and I was just sitting like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
This went from here to here. I went back in. He was crying to his mom. And he was, and I just went, let's go. And he's like, what? I go, well, let's go. And I put him in the car, put him in the truck.
Wow.
I said, pick a song. And he picked Metallica, Turn the Page.
No way.
Perfect song.
Oh my gosh.
This moment, right?
I'll tell you something. Not always, but sometimes the cover, especially it's by Metallica,
Yeah.
is better than the original.
Way better. And I love that song. It's great.
I do love that song.
But the
the
Metallica version?
Metallica version, wow.
Put that on, and I'm like, I was almost went, nice fucking.
Yeah.
We listened to it. We drove on the highway, Sawmill, listening to Metallica.
Oh, I love the Sawmill
Till he fell
Parkway.
asleep.
The Sawmill River Parkway.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
I found a diner. I pulled over.
Wow.
I tapped him. I go, let's go. And I got out of the car, and he fucking put his arm around me.
Oh,
And I hugged him, and I go, listen,
wow.
we're going to do a do-over.
Yeah.
I think everybody got carried away today.
Yeah.
We got a little, let's start over.
I love
We
it.
went inside. I go, order what you want. I ordered what I want. And I said, we need to go through what happened.
Yeah.
I go, tell me the truth.
Yeah.
He's told me this, and
Oh.
he told me that. Wound up, he was getting bullied at school.
Wow.
And then he told me what he did. And then we went through this. And then I go, why did you do this to your mom? And we slowly went through everything step by
Wow.
step. And then everything was fine.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then we went back, and we sat down with his mom. And not to get, I mean, this is a fucking comedy podcast we're getting, but who gives a fuck? And we worked it all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then he went back into school the next day and beat the shit out of those broads. I was like, go in there, you fucking schmammy cocksuckers, and kick that chick right in her fucking cooch. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my word.
Listen, I got
Good
this
button though.
a good button.
Yeah.
What's up with buttons? I'll tell you my joke in a sec. We got these, what is this? Do you want to do that Boston Street thing or no? No?
If you want to, we can go just the questions.
All right, what do you got? we'll go to the questions. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, the fact that you're dealing with your fucking life through your comedy is what a comic is.
Oh, thanks.
The fact that you're going up there and talking about depression, anxiety, your childhood, your past, your present, and you're one of the funniest guys in the game, and everybody knows it.
Thank you.
And it's inspiring to me to see that shit. And you're out. You're not on a team. You're on your own team. Which, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've always been part of something.
Right.
You're out there. You went and did your own thing. You broke free of this, whatever the fuck it is, and you went and did your own thing.
Yeah.
Took care of yourself.
Yeah.
And then put all that into your craft, and then presented it to people, and they responded.
Oh man, I hadn't thought about that. That's really nice of you to say. I was gonna bring a copy of my book for you, and then I was like, don't shove it in his face and insist. But I was going to write in it that I can't imagine my life without having had you in it. I mean, just so many great moments and just such great friendship and so many great pep talks and celebrations and we've I mean, this is overstating it, of course, but we're like old wartime buddies.
We are, man.
Because
we're vets.
We're vets.
We're veterans.
Yeah, we're lifers and we're veterans,
Yeah.
and I used to think, oh, just let me get to a point where I can make a living at it, but I wouldn't give up those times when we were struggling for all the money. It really was special, and it's like with the samurai sword, that fire really it does something with I forget what it does to a samurai sword, but it's essential to tempering the steel.
Heat treating.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to fold it on itself.
Yes.
80 fucking 70 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
and those just are the Dick Doherty gigs.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we're fucking
Right?
warriors. Man.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I had somebody recently say to me, I passed you 10 times in the business. Busting balls, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
And then I looked at it and I go, I don't know. I mean, I've got a wife. I got a son. I got friends. I got a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I can pay for my kid to do certain things, food on his mouth, and I enjoy my time with those people. And I
Wait a minute. He thinks he's 10 laps past you?
whatever. It was this thing.
Ugh.
But here's the thing.
By the way, we're tortoises. We're gonna be moving a lot
motherfucker.
after these fucking
How many-
hares
how-
are exhausted.
How many
and,
dudes have we seen?
Oh my gosh.
How many fucking people? Because I think of that,
So
I'm like,
many.
I've seen the ups, buddy,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I've had them,
Yep.
but I've seen the downs.
Yeah.
And the down is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
If you don't have a life.
Yeah. Totally.
If you don't have a life to come back to, that down
Totally
is crazy.
And they may make more money and get more fame, but they're not going to be half the comedians we are.
Well, even if they do, who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? The thing is that I love.
I give a
I
fuck.
fucking love my life. I love my life.
No, me too.
I've loved
me
it.
too. If I could freeze it in its level right now, as far as I don't go any further back, I don't go any further forward.
Yeah.
I would be so content with what I have right now. I'm so grateful.
We've never done this. We've always done this.
Yeah.
We never did this.
Yep.
We did this a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But we've always done this.
Steady.
We never went back.
Yep. Totally.
Ever.
Nope.
Because we're always,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
And you're one of those guys who's always fucking putting it back into your work. And everybody knows that you're one of the funniest guys. These fucking nerds working for me, how excited when you were coming in. They could give a fuck about me. But they love you.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
You're one of the most respected stand-ups in the business. Everybody fucking knows it.
Well, that's really
and I'm
nice
glad
to
that you
hear,
fucking
man.
wrote this book.
That means
Go
a
get
lot
the,
to me.
Go get the book. It's called Misfit. Growing Up Awkward in the 80s. There it is right there. He's got a new hour coming out. What's the new hour? When is that coming out?
12/21 on Max, and it's called Born on Third Base.
Born on Third Base.
Yeah.
You want to hear my joke first?
Yeah.
3 Jews come to America.
Uh-huh.
one Goldberg, Silverberg, and the last one's Taylorberg. And they go, do you know it?
No.
They go, okay, we're going to go make our fortunes. We'll come back here in 10 years, and we'll tell each other how we did it. They all go away. 10 years later, they meet same spot. They go, all right, what happened? Goldberg, you go first. All right, I went into the gold business. I made millions buying and selling gold. Great. Silverberg, what'd you do? I did the same thing. I went into the silver business. I made millions, all my millions, selling silver. Oh, well, that's awesome. Taylorberg, what'd you do? Well, I went to the tailor business. And I worked my fingers to the bone. For years, I didn't make a dime. I lost money. Finally, I was just praying, please, God, please help me. Help me make my money. Help me make my fortune. I'll do anything. I'll make you a partner. They go, well, what happened? You ever hear of Lord and Taylor's?
It's interesting because I think I mentioned Lord and Taylor earlier in the show. Oh, that's really good, man.
Came up. What's your funniest street joke? Your favorite, funniest?
There are two Jewish men in front of a firing squad, and one of them is the guy who's the leader of the firing squad, the master sergeant or whatever. He says, "Do you guys have any last request?" And one of them says, "Well, can I get a blindfold?" And his friend says, "Murray, don't make trouble."
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Murray, don't make trouble.
Yeah, it really captures the kind of immigrant ethos and just trying to mind your P's and Q's. Like anything could happen worse.
Yeah. All right, we got Scruffy Bones. Gary, where have you been, dude?
Oh, why haven't I been on YKWD?
No, I think, you know what? Because I think what you do is you go away.
Yeah.
You work on your shit.
Yeah.
And then when your hour's done, you go and tour it. And then you're writing a book. You're working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. And I love that you do that. And I'm kind of jealous of it, but I think I could do it, is that, you know, I have to do these gigs
Yeah.
every week because I have that fucking, you know, my wife and my kid and
Yeah.
a house and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I kind of put myself in that position, you know, but I
Yeah.
think what you do, which I admire and I envy, is that you'll go and do small gigs, work your stuff for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's what I did this summer from May till September. I did hour and a half, 2-hour shows working out this new tour material so that I could tour with the book, and I didn't want to do jokes from the book because I felt like people would be like, "Oh, what the fuck? We just heard this joke the other night, and now he's selling it to us in a book." So I had to write a new hour and 15 hour and a half for the road. But the other thing is that book, man, I was disciplined about it because you make a contract, you gotta come through. So I was putting in a lot of hours on the book, and so when I had to go out on the road, I also had to during the day write before I did the shows. So it was because it's like exercise and eating right. You take one day off from writing the book, and one day becomes 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then the editor is like, this is there are deadlines involved. So I just remember being in high school or college, the last time I had a deadline and knowing all the anxiety that comes up, and then you wind up doing a half-assed job last minute, and I didn't want that to happen. So I started almost right after I signed the contract, and and finished it. It took over 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's out, and now you're
it's out.
touring.
Yes.
So you can go see it.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Europe at any time soon?
Oh, I don't think so, but
Why?
someday.
You should go, dude. You probably have a lot of fans in the UK.
I think I may, but the thing is that it's hard to maintain the routine like we have even on the road in the United States. It's much easier than being in a foreign country, and
Right.
and there are certain things I need to do every day. Like I bring a deflated basketball and play when I'm on the road every day, and I just, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I just imagine that all the basketball courts are either indoors or difficult to find.
They're gypsies
in
living on the
Europe.
court.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Grass
Why I
there's
picture
grass.
I picture the old Jay Okerson joke about every country looking the same with a woman with a scarf running away from vandals.
Oh, the UK just seems cold and fucking
Cold and rainy, and
Rainy.
these people talk about going to Edinburgh or whatever to do these shows for 4 weeks, and you have to do like 16 shows a weekend,
Oh.
and also it's rainy, and their idea of a first class hotel is our La Quinta, right?
Yeah.
Or
Just got a spiral staircase
Yeah,
that
yes.
witches used to use, right?
yeah,
Yes,
totally,
Yeah,
totally,
yeah, I know.
yeah, and you share your room with a talking bird.
Yeah. The basketball court is cobblestone.
Yes,
So the
totally,
ball keeps flying
totally,
from the left to the
totally,
right.
and the hoop is on the ground.
Right.
You just
Yeah, well, you
word.
got a fan out there, Scruffy Bones.
Thanks,
Jay, obviously making jokes as a teacher in a classroom is not allowed anymore, but I'm curious how far you would go when you were a teacher. Ever roast the kids like the adolescents? Tards? Why would they say tards? They are?
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Anyhow, I lived and grew up in the same city at the high school I taught at, so I was able to do jokes about the teachers that we had in common, and I remember this one kid worked at CVS, and I knew the manager at the CVS, and I would tell jokes about the manager at CVS, and I would make fun of the local cable personalities. And the other thing was, in terms of roasting, I remember there was one kid who would not shut up, and I told him, and he had not yet hit puberty, and I said, I don't want to hear your voice again until it changes. So I think that was the closest I ever came to a roast, but I was very careful. But I'll tell you, I was roasted by these kids because the teenagers, especially teenage girls, can be mean.
Yeah.
Oh my word, they would just decimate me with these comments on my hair or clothing or
Really?
or- yeah, they were brutal.
That sucks. They would
They were
trash your shirt and you would feel it.
Oh yeah, I remember just somebody mocking the origin of my shirt. It was clearly Old Navy, and they ridiculed Old Navy because they were into whatever Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch,
American Apparel?
And yeah. And I was wearing Old Navy because I was making $45 a day, and whatever you would get doing middle spots in New England,
Right.
which was maybe 75, but like remember a $75 gig?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that felt good writing it into the calendar.
Ah.
$75. Oh my gosh.
cash.
That's almost 100. You could round up to 100 and it was cash.
Oh my God.
Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oof.
The best. I used to get a check for $75. Remember the $50 spots?
Oh my gosh.
You have to go to Billy Downs and he'd be like, all right, come back on Tuesday.
And then he would always say the same thing. I would be like, Billy, you owe me money. It's 8 weeks now you've owed me this money. And he would say, it's not like I tipped your sister. And I'm like, is there nothing in between owing me money and
the sister.
yeah, and sister? I mean, what a horrible thing to bring up. Like, and how dare I ask for this money that I had earned?
It's not like I fucked your mother in the ass.
Right?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Why did
definitely
you?
not.
Yeah. My gosh. I
Alex H., for both of you, what are some of your least favorite things you do to keep a healthy mind, i.e., meditation, action, affirmations, etc.? I know what mine is.
It's a really good question.
It is a good question.
I think, I mean, I really do always look forward to going to Allen. I think, man, I would love it if I could just eat tons of sugar and candy and sweets and everything like that, but it fucks with my brain.
Yeah.
It's,
Food
and I
fucks with my
can't
brain.
stop.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stop once I start it. It's like a binge, and it's never satisfying. And I mean, you talk about this too, but my wife will be like, you went to the refrigerator in a state of like a whirlwind of consumption, at 2:00 in the morning, and I heard the syrup. I'm pouring maple syrup on cereal at 2:00 in the
great idea.
morning. It is a great idea, but it's also like cereal has a lot of sugar on its own.
Yeah.
Especially the raisiny cereal that I prefer. And then I'm putting maple syrup on it at 2:00 in the morning, and she's really good about not saying again with the she's nice about it, but
Donna's come out at 3 in the morning, and without words, quietly taken Chinese lo mein and a bowl of cereal out of my hand.
wow.
Quietly, no words.
Oh my God.
Put them down.
Oh my God, that's so
Put them
good.
in the trash, and she went, "Go to bed."
Wow.
And I was like, "But," she goes, "You're done."
That has to be animated for the special we make,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because that is really, because I can see her eyes. She's got great film eyes. She could have been a great actress,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She is a great actress. She pretends
Yeah.
that she's into me sexually. Every once in a while, she'll hold me.
Stop! You are a very attractive, desirable man.
I'll fucking call her right now. You can tell her. I mean, she hasn't touched my pecker in a long time. We got to get back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to look her in the eyes.
And do what?
Alan says that's what it takes.
Look her in the eyes?
You told me that Alan told you that was a.
Yeah, he's
that
told
was
me a lot of things
Yeah.
to do to Dawn. I don't think he knows girls from Everett.
Oh, I didn't realize she went to Everett High.
Yeah, she's Everett.
That's so
He's
interesting.
dealing with like Tompkins Square girls, hippie girls from the, East Village. of
Right,
the-
right. Bohemians.
Yeah, bohemians, smelly girls. He's not dealing with a chick who used to hang her head upside down to spray paint her hairspray so her hair would stand up like Bon Jovi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was, man, that's hard to explain to people, but that was a phenomenon.
The hair?
And yeah, I look at my high school yearbook. I'm like, how did you even know what to do to get it to that point? And they were like snowflakes. They were like fingerprints. There were no two alike, and yet they were architecture.
The back of the head was flat.
Yeah.
The front was 4 feet tall. And they would use so much hairspray.
Yes.
I mean, I blame the 80s and 90s for the ozone.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It
no,
has nothing
totally.
to do with Bezos's private jet. It has to do with a bunch of
No, the
broad-
ozone made a comeback, and it was because they outlawed that Aquanet. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we rebuilt the ozone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's back?
Yes.
How come that didn't make
We're
news?
fine. We're fine with the ozone. It's the level of carbon dioxide in the air that's
Right.
the problem.
We're going to talk
Yeah.
to Leonardo about taking his private jet to the French
No,
Film
there's
Festival.
definitely hypocrisy.
100.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know what is a good way to fight climate change is veganism.
What?
Yeah.
I can't be a vegan.
Okay. Can you be vegan once a week?
I can do that.
Yeah.
I love a nice stew.
It's really helpful.
I'm a big stew.
It's really helpful.
I'm a big stew fan. I love a root vegetable.
Oh, I love a root
I'll eat a root vegetable as a meal. Like carrots and a potato.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes. And you throw some beans in there, and you've got everything you need.
Oh, dude, I'll
Or
do that in a
lentils.
sec. I have no problem with that.
All
But
right.
the problem is that comes out of my asshole. Like, I mean,
Oh, I
the
know.
next couple of days.
I know, hon.
Dawn made beef stew, but it's mainly vegetables.
Yeah.
Dude, it feels good. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a cleanse.
Oh, yeah.
A stew?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big stew guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, buddy, I love you so much.
I love you, too.
I'm so proud of you.
Great to reconnect.
You're inspiring. I hope that we get to do, that special. I really want to get on that again.
Yeah.
I would love to get
just
that
reach
out
out
there.
to Mike, and we'll do some Zooms or whatever. We should start off with a lunch.
Yeah, dude, does he come? Because I remember with COVID.
Yeah, but he's back in Brooklyn.
He's back?
Yeah.
Is he going out?
Yeah, he goes out, but the thing is that he's in a project, a documentary project right now. But he'll definitely be able to have lunch with us, and we'll
I
rekindle
miss
this.
Mike. He's such a
Oh,
great
oh my gosh,
one of the
nicest
nicest.
guy.
I was so glad. that-
nicest, and man, does
we
he
had a-
love you? He adores you.
We had a-
and he's
we
a
had a
great laugh, man.
Great laugh, but
Yeah.
a great guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of a hippie dude.
Yeah.
It's weird because I've always been friends.
Mike Bonfiglio. This is
Bonfiglio,
the Emmy,
man.
multiple Emmy award winning one for Shandling, for George Carlin, and for a Peanuts documentary that he did.
And yours. You're
no,
special.
no, that didn't win an Emmy, but it was a
but
good
you're
special.
dude, one of the best.
Thank you.
I told
Thank
you, man.
Oh man, I really appreciate.
I mean, when
that.
I went
was
to
one of
that,
my
I was
special
just
nights.
fucking
yeah.
great.
Yeah, to have you sitting with Chris Elliott,
Remember that?
that was amazing.
And I love
That was
Schitt's Creek
amazing.
too.
Oh, he's so good.
I know, and I didn't say nothing to him because I would have ruined
Really?
it.
Oh, you wouldn't have ruined it. He would have loved it.
I don't know. I would have ruined it.
No, you don't ruin things.
Oh,
You're really
dude,
good. You're
fucked
really
up.
good fanboying.
Dude, I'm the worst.
Really?
Quinn won't let me sit. If he sees a famous person come in,
Really?
he leans in. He goes, "Time to go."
Oh,
Literally goes, "Time to go."
I didn't realize.
Last time
that.
he did that, I didn't leave. Ray Romano. 20 minutes after I come out, he goes laughing. I know you'd fuck it up. He was reading the paper and he mentioned something about his kid. I go, my kid does that too. And I kept repeating it because I didn't think he heard me, but he did. He was ignoring me. I go, my kid does that too.
Oh,
My kid. And I heard Keith go, he heard you.
Oh,
I just got up
Bob.
and left.
oh,
I'm the worst.
oh, man. Well, you have these horror stories, the Seinfeld one, and now this.
I know.
It's all right.
All right, so go check out his book and his website. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be coming up? Where
Oh,
can they find your dates?
GaryGulman.com.
GaryGulman.com. Make sure you go check out one of the funniest. I mean, you're all read those
the
dates.
Misfit Book Tour.
Read them.
Carolina.
Not you, the
Oh.
producer, the fucking asshole who keeps fidgeting with the mouse. Read it.
They have
Oh my God.
No, it's okay, guys. Where
Where
people
are they?
aren't going to remember it. We'll just say GaryGulman.com.
They're right there. Read 'em.
October 12th. At,
Oh my God!
Carolina
Stop
Theater.
and fucking have confidence. I'm trying to help these kids. Gary.
I see.
Let me
October-
fucking help them.
October 12th.
No,
Carolina
Gary
Theater.
Gulman will be performing at.
Gary Gulman will be performing at Carolina Theater in Durham, North Carolina, the Buckhead Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, Booth Playhouse at in Charlotte, North Carolina, Short Center for the Arts in Indianapolis, the Fitzgerald Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota, the
Oh my God!
Amatic
Say it.
Theater, the Amatic Theater,
The what theater?
Amadu,
Nope.
Amadaru,
I
Nope.
think it's Amaturo.
Amatura.
At the Broward Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Mike, I would have fucked that up too, by the way. I mean, Max.
Yeah.
All right, he's all over the place. You got a big tour coming up, so if you want to go see Gary, go to his website. He's got a big tour coming up, selling his book, brand new book. Go
Yeah, and
get the book.
I signed the book for everybody at the end. I meet everybody. So if you
Wait.
want to wait, yeah.
There, you want to hang out after, get a book signed, check out
Yeah.
his book. Make sure you tell him you heard him on the podcast. And go to robertkellylive.com. I'm all over the place. Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State, Kansas City, Boston, Mass. At the Comics Come Home, Portsmouth, PA, Baltimore, Maryland, Niana, what?
Dania Beach.
Ugh, I hate the name. Niana Beach. I'm all over the place. Make sure you check out my shows. I'm on the Bonfire every day. Make sure you check out that. Bone to Pick podcast. And of course, comicrebels.com. Use code word Ladybugs to get your YKWD gear. We have new hats up there. All kinds of great stuff. Guys, give you plugs. Go!
Max Marcus Comedy on all social media.
At Danny Braff on Instagram.
The Cheese Show on YouTube.
At Mike P. Suarez.
Listen, dude, they might not look good, but they're the best.
Yeah.
I love these guys. They make the show, and these guys are here because they love the YKWD podcast, being part of it, helping produce it, every aspect of it. So make sure you check them out wherever they're going to be. I love you, man.
I love you too. You're a great friend.
You're a great friend too, man. And I can't wait to hopefully work with you this year.
Awesome.
And I love seeing you on Tuesdays and get my Gulman hug.
Yes,
And you got to come up. I want you to come up and see the fam
I would like that.
soon. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we'll see you guys next week on You Know What, Dude. You guys are the best fans in the world. You know what, dude? See you later.
You've been listening to the YKWD podcast. Thanks for listening. Now go back to your shitty jobs. Shitty jobs. Shitty